Hello. So today, this is the pair of shoes I'm working on. Got my dyes. Jet black, turquoise, blue jean. That's the first one thrown on the floor. Like that. I've got a great big bee in here with me. I'm not bothered about it, but I have got cats on the loose, so one's had its teeth sorted today. So of course I just want to make sure that no cats try and catch the bee, for one, because I don't want anything to happen to the bee, and secondly because I don't want anything to happen to the cat from the bee. Right, so yeah, I'm cleaning these off today. So we'll start by taking the laces out. Loake 1880s. So these are done on a last Claridge last, and they seem to be, or have been, a good shoe. Don't appear to be available anymore. This is a good pair that I got off eBay with the intention of doing exactly what I'm doing. So we'll see how they turn out. So there they are. They've got the rubber sole on, which I believe this is the original soles. So although they need a little bit of gluing, the actual leather itself is just trimmed slightly. So it's not a half sole, and that should glue back up. I don't believe it is detrimental to it. No, you can't eat that. You just had your teeth out, silly cat. Okay, I'm back. I just had to remove my remnants of last night's rhubarb pie, then bit of crust that we left on a plate. My cat that's just had her teeth out decided she was going to try to eat the hard crust, which we can't have that happen, because I've just had one cat have her teeth out and she ended up with one of the stitches coming out, so she had to then go back under. So we don't really want the cat getting hold of anything that could do the same sort of thing. So I had to deal with that. Okay, so deglazer, my little pot. Although really, put a bit in my little tub here. Just get a few supplies at the ready. Okay, so I've not done a patina before. I'm very much out of my comfort zone doing this on here, where anything can and will go wrong. But things do go wrong. Not everything's perfect, so we'll show the reality of how things can go and do go, and sometimes don't go. So my intention is to remove the finish. Clean them up. And actually, I do believe I'm going to keep these. Now, whether or not I end up selling them later, I could do. I don't know, but we'll see. But right here and now, we're going to start by deglazing it. So we're going to try and get as much of this finish off as we can. As you can see, they're pretty good quality. We've not got to the leather. I believe that these soles were put on during manufacturing. You can see they've only got one lot of stitching. They do appear to be the original. The colour matches the heel, the shoe. So I figured they were a good go, right? I mean, they've got some scratches here, but I don't expect that to show up after when I've done what I'm doing. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be stripping off this finish, and as soon as I finish stripping it off, I am going to be putting the turquoise leather dye on. Now they have a handy little thing on the box here, which I wasn't going to bother with, but I am a bit clumsy, so we'll stick that in now. Got a few brushes here. I think I'm just going to clean them up a little. I'm not sure if... Yeah, get a bit of that dye off there. Right. So, yeah, as I mentioned, I've not done this before. It might turn out terrible. It might turn out okay. But I guess we'll find out, won't we? I'm not sure how good that lighting is there. Try and get you a bit closer. bit better. Right. So if I disappear, like I'm just about to do. What are you doing, cat? What are you doing? Come from under there, you thing. Okay. Have you finished? No, what are you doing? Come here. Come here. What you doing? Hmm? Here's my terrible terror that's had her teeth out and should probably be resting, but it's such a nice day, isn't it, Matilda? Yeah, you'd rather be in the garden, wouldn't you? Yeah. Oh, she's quite happy. Instead of painkillers. She's not generally a pain. I've got to keep an eye on her though, so if I get up and I disappear, it's purely because I just need to keep a check on her. Okay, so take a little bit of that out. I don't know how much of this will come off. As always, you don't really know. I don't know what shoe creams, if any, have been put on the shoes at any point, which if they have, that affects how well the dye will soak in. So these are, I think, not a massively wide fitting, but some of them are quite narrow. Loake Foley's, they're narrow. I've got a pair of those over there, and they're about 1.5 inches longer than your actual foot. And there are 7.5 those. I'm going to be selling those on. Not too sure exactly what to do with them yet. I've been coming up with ideas of, maybe I can say, right, these are for sale. If anybody would like to buy them, there will be such an amount of money, and you can choose what finish you'd like on them yourself, what colour you'd like, or whatever. That might be interesting. Now, these don't look like they're actually changing colour. And it's not that they won't be. They will be. But it all depends on what finish of leather's been used as well. So as these are staying kind of similar to what they're starting, I think what I might find here is that rather than looking turquoise, these are also going to look more green. But we'll see. Anybody fancy buying a pair of green shoes? They'll possibly be, well, not this pair. Well, they might do. They might end up going on eBay, yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just seeing how it goes, right? I mean, I'm doing the videos, right? But I'm not really thinking, I'm going to make loads of money off YouTube doing videos. What my main aim is to, when you see shoes like this on eBay and they've not been properly looked after, and I feel like I can do something with them, although these have been looked after. If I can get a bargain and I can do some work on them, sell them on again, if it does something that's making use of a shoe that might otherwise just be sat there doing nothing, then I'm good with that. Or alternatively, if it gives somebody the opportunity to have one of these brilliant pairs of shoes, but in a colour that they'd rather have because they're a bit neurodivergent or just like a nice bright coloured pair of shoes, well, I'd be happy with that. Okay, so I've done that then. You'll have to excuse the neighbours. If you can hear it talking in the background. Right, so that's that one. I can see a difference. Not a massive difference, but I can definitely see one. I'm also curious to see if I use a bit of a cotton pad. So it is coming off. I'm just wondering whether it might be better to use the cotton pads to get it off. You know, bring more off the surface and what the dauber might be, the wool dauber. So I don't know what it is particularly I like about these finishes. I just think they look quite cool, you know. So there's quite a bit of crap coming off there as well. I say crap, it'll probably be the burnishing colour that they use. It does look like they have been burnished slightly. They're a little darker around here, around the stitching. Where, you know, where there's two pieces of leather join in this crease, you can just see it's darker. So So this is the one where the scratches on the side. They're not into the leather. They're not scratched it like in any depth. It's more like the surface. Got a bit of marking on it. There's quite a bit come off that. It shows that it is taking something off. I think I'll have another wet of that. Another one. And I might go over the first one a little again as well. And see if more comes off. See. Sometimes I think they use like a different tanned leather to start with, so you can get different levels of tanned leather, so it'll be like a pre-finish kind of thing, you know. Got a bit of a problem going on, so you see me stopping and starting. That's why. Anyway. Quite surprising how much still comes off when you think you're done. And I've got the tongues to do yet as well. They're definitely lighter. I think they're looking a little bit more on the mustardy kind of side now. And especially once they dry as well, they will dry lighter. They always dry lighter. So let's have another go now with that other shoe again. Yeah, quite a bit coming off there, yeah. You okay? You okay, Matilda? I'm a little bit bothered that now I can see lines around here, but it's probably just the deglazer. You know, you don't, once it evaporates, it should be fine. Let's do that tongue. I don't think there's going to be much burnishing on the tongue. I'm not going to go in too hard on them because there's some nice red dye on the inside which is coming off a bit on the hands, which I'm not bothered about it going on the gloves, but I'd rather it not come off the shoe because it's part of the inside of the finish. So I'm just going to try and keep that tongue so that I get off what I need to, but without doing too much to the red on there. And I also need to make sure now that I don't get the red on there. So I think there's only one thing for that, and that's 2 more gloves. Okay, so I'm going to get straight on to putting a colour on these. No, I'm not too bothered about the edging. I've not really decided what I'm going to do with that yet. Whether to leave it the colour it is, whether to change the colour to black. I'm just going to concentrate on the uppers for now. I'll put the deglazer back. Okay, so basically what I like to do is, while I have YouTube open and recording. I like to have it open on my iPad so that I can see my own video, so I can see that you're seeing the picture, you're getting the view you need. There we go. Turn that down. Just so I can see that things are in the screen properly, and I can see now that actually part of what I'm doing isn't. So, I'm using this turquoise leather dye. Give it a shake. Beautiful colour. As I mentioned, I have a feeling it's going to end up looking kind of green. I was going to dip the dauber in the bottle, but I think I might be safer actually doing that. So, let's have a go. Let's see where we end up with these. So, my first time doing a patina. I've not had any practice on anything. Already they're looking a nice olive green actually, which is kind of funny because the boots that I previously turned green were meant to turn out like an olive green and ended up bright green. So maybe my blue ones are going to now actually turn out olive green, which should be okay. I don't mind that. So as I mentioned, I'm intending keeping these for myself. We'll see how they turn out. I have really no idea whether these are going to turn out any good or not. They might turn out really badly. They might turn out really cool. I'll either love them or hate them, I'm sure. But I mean, looking at the colour already, I'm thinking like already these are really going to look quite cool. Nice, I'm liking. It's going to obviously dry a different colour again. I can see it's lightening up now, but yeah, they are going to look green, not blue. But this is like part of the fun, right? See how they do end up. And you know, also, like it's like end up with something a bit different, isn't it? Like we can all go and buy something everybody else has got. But we can't all make something that no one else has got. So I don't know if these are a good dye for doing this finish. I don't know if they're a good dye for the colours mixing. I used to use Tandy leather dyes, Fibins, Saddle Rizone. So really it's my first time using Angelus properly in a dye. I have got some of the acrylics, but I've not really used those properly either. When I was doing leatherwork initially was COVID eye that I would buy through Tandy Leathercraft, and we used to have one in the shop, one of the shops in this town, and I would go there for my supplies and to get tools and things. Quite sad really when the shop went. What a difference. Right, let's do number 2. A bit more dye in there. Let's do this tongue as well. Put that one there. Do shoe number 2. I think we'll do that tongue first. See, they're going a little paler now. Now they're drying out. A bit patchy in places, but that's okay because they've also got to have another colour on yet. So I'll finish this one and then I'm going to stop the video and I shall be doing a half-hour break or so to allow this to dry some. So I'll probably go and make a drink. And I shall be doing another part. Which will be adding another colour. and doing a bit more work. I really am liking the colour these are going. I like green anyway, I don't mind green, although I did really want the blue. I'm not sure how I'm going to get a blue finish on tan shoes. I guess it all depends on what the leather is that's been used in the first place. I think I would have got a better blue finish off the boots that I turned green. But again, I'm not unhappy with how these are looking because I like the olive green colour, you know. I think they're really quite cool. So I've got a few little ventures planned. I think I'm turning into an entrepreneur. I really struggle to do the same thing constantly. It sends me demented, and I don't think I was ever meant to do the same thing day after day after day after day, doing monotonous things that don't give you what you need. But I do like to do different crafting. But every time I try and do anything like that, I seem to have something just happen in my life that totally stops me in my tracks and causes me no end of problems. So it kind of gets a bit difficult to get going with anything, but that doesn't mean I give up. Anyway, that's looking really, really quite a groovy colour. Well, yeah, I do like that. I know it's going to dry lighter, but I can already see that it's going a good way. Matilda! No, you're not Matilda. Where's Matilda? Oh, you're there. You okay, girl? Matilda? Matilda? Are you okay, chick? Chilling there, are you? Right. I've got a little visitor. Okay. I don't have a little visitor, I have a big visitor. So there we are. There's the colour. That looks a little bit like it doesn't want to quite go. Right, I'm going to give these half an hour or so and I will be back with video number 2.